Good morning, everybody. I'm Luke Sullivan with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado, just north of Denver, right off Interstate 25. You can't miss us. And we got something big going on this weekend. We're at the Snomo Expo down at the Denver National Stock Show, Event Center. Got a lot going on. It's the Snomo Expo. Logan's coming out with their Chris Burandt Edition trailers, and we can't say enough about them. So we've got a couple on the lot. We've got a couple down at the show that you're going to be able to walk around, get hands-on with them and see them. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're really excited to show you these trailers. They've got a few little extra add-ons. We've been doing these horsepower type trailers with Logan for a while now, but the Chris Burandt specials, they've got a few add-ons. We'll go through those when we get inside. A lot of those really show their face when we get up front. Let's take a really quick look at the business end of things, because we've got a lot going on the inside of these trailers, and we certainly want to get into that. But you've got a fully adjustable hitch on here. I like these Demco balls. You always kind of get that, or that Demco latch. You always get a really positive connection with these. Like that system a lot. We are a normal 7-pin connection. Of course, we all know that system. We've got a couple different reverse light systems on this trailer too, that's still gonna run through. Electric over hydraulic jack. It is keyed too, so you get a little bit more security with that. And then some big heavy duty safety chains. Please folks, always use your safety chains. And then you will see the big elephant in the room up here on top of this neck is a couple of gas tanks, propane bottles. So we've got some big furnaces in here. Secondary 75K, big boy. We're gonna dry your gear out in this trailer, that is for sure. So we wanna make sure we've got enough propane in here to help you get down the road. Do some nice diamond plate here. I like the black. I like the color of this silver trailer too. I think it looks really nice. And then just here on the nose is our 30 amp connection. So we'll talk, we've got a lot of different power sources going on. We've got an inverter, we've got chargers, we've got solar, but certainly too, we've got our 30 amp that's always gonna help us charge, and we can run our equipment off of that. We can run our furnaces off of that. Just getting a real quick look down here, the passenger side of the trailer. Obviously, not a lot going on. We do have a small vent window here. Nice to be able to crack those when you've got your furnace going, get a little bit of fresh air moving through there. You will notice along the top line of the trailer and the bottom line, we've got a couple extra running lights throughout it. That's part of that Chris Burandt Edition that we're doing on these. So a lot more light. Certainly wintertime when we're out snowmobiling, it's dark at 5 o'clock and it's not really light until 7 or 8 some mornings. So nice to be able to have a lot of extra light on these trailers to see what you're doing. And then you'll notice we've got some amber ones obviously along the roof line. We've got some red ones towards the back of the trailer, but you'll notice a couple of the larger ones that are just white as we're showing up. And what I will do is sneak around the camera actually and show you that that's integrated into our reverse light system. So anytime you throw your tow vehicle into reverse, you're gonna get those lights to come on. But as you can see, I've walked over here right now and flipped a little switch. We're unhooked from any tow vehicle just to add a little bit more light if we're getting geared up or if we're getting ready to stow everything away and head home. Really nice just to have a bit more light to see what we're doing. And certainly snowmobile type trailer in the environment these things are on, you get a little bit of white light on top of that snow and you're certainly gonna be able to see a lot more of what you're doing. While we're down there, while we're having a peek at lights and we're in that region, we will talk running gear really quick. You will see we are on that spread axle, helps quite a bit with our weight distribution. We are on 16-inch aluminum wheels and tires. On 6K running gear on this trailer, obviously we'd take a jump up if we worked into that gooseneck category, which we've got a couple of those on the lot as well. But again, 6K axles on this trailer with electric drum brakes. Make sure you always have control over your braking system in your tow vehicle. So before we make our way around to the back and we really get into a lot of cool parts of this trailer, on our rear post here, our lower switch is that reverse light toggle that we have. Nice to be able, like I said, to light some things up. And then above that, we've got a lot more control. We've got some big floodlights over our rear ramp that are really gonna light things up. And then we've got a ton of lights and control of those on the inside of the trailer. So working our way around to the ramp, we are a full height ramp. We've got plastics all over the place to help you get these guys loaded up, and flip outs not only on the end of the ramp, but also at the hinge point of our ramp. So first and foremost, going to make that transition sliding in a lot easier. And second too, you'll notice a lot wider space in here. So we're not going to get a lot of that buildup of snow and ice that we've seen certainly in the past, and going to make it a lot easier to clear out that area. And then you'll also notice too, we have stuck with the cable assist. Keeps it a lot simpler down here so that we don't have any of that issues like we've said with icing up or hinges having any kind of issues over the long term. And really, this is the simplest and best way to get that cable assist, because this is a nice big heavy ramp if you didn't have that. So working our way inside the trailer, Logan's do on their floor of a lot of their product line across the board a vortex liner. They do it on the gooseneck drop walls on the outsides. They do it in their stock trailers, and they obviously do it here on the floor of this trailer as well. Really, really tough material. Certainly going to hold up to your skis running over it multiple times. Has kind of that bed liner type appearance and feel to it, maybe even a little more sandpapery or a little rough. So you get some nice friction out of it. And then you will see right here at the entrance of it, with multiple drain points as well, is a nice little trough too. So we talked about our furnace. We talk about it a lot more when we get up to it, but when we're melting out, if you've got 2 or 3 or 4 sleds in here full packed of snow, you're going to have a lot of water certainly running out the back of this trailer. So nice to be able to capture all that, not get it into the hinge of your gate, obviously, and then certainly plug it all back up if you're heading down the road. While we're still looking down the floor line on both sides of the trailers, we've got some of our airliner track cargo containment management system. We know a lot of guys just kind of tether the backs of their sleds, so you can certainly do that. Like we said with the vortex flooring, there's a lot of friction there already, but these can be moved all over the place. It's a really, really nice system to use. And again, like I said, we've got a couple equipped on either side, and you do, if you want to tie your sleds down at 4 points, you can certainly slide those all the way around. Another aspect of the Chris Burandt package that we're adding is this lower set of lights. So we'll flip this up so you get a better look at it actually for a second. But on both sides of the trailer, all the way down the length of it, we've got 4 LEDs on both sides. Really, really nice. If you're doing some repairs, if you need to swap out a track or something like that, really nice to have that lower in light. We've all worked on something with an engine on the lower half of it and been looking for a little bit more light. So nice to have that, makes a big difference. As you saw, bench seating on passenger side, just below that little vented window. They're a frameless type window from the outside, so they have that really sleek look when you look at them from the outside. But I think these will complement really well that furnace, because you can just give these a little crack to get some fresh air and ventilation in for those, and then twist them back closed, and they are screened as well. So above that, coat racks, coat hooks, whatever you want to hang. I think there's 24 if I'm not mistaken on both sides. So you've got tons of options there, and just below those you've got USB and USB-C outlets. Each one, we've got 4 outlets underneath these double sets of cabinets here, and you'll see each one has a double USB and a double USB-C. So really nice. We can get you hooked up so that you can slide some of those cords through and get those up in your cabinets, whether you're charging a bunch of GoPros or cameras or want to slide a laptop in here and do something like that. You have that option as well. And then in between, we've got a nice little shelf with a tray too, a bit of a lip, so that you've got quite a bit. You're not going to worry about stuff coming out of there. And then a couple LEDs to light it up, and another 12-volt plug next to those. And then we'll talk about our 110 service. Main things we're running off our 110 service is gonna be our big 75K BTU furnace. But because we have that, we can give you some 110 plugs throughout the trailer. Gonna be a really nice addition that you have that ability really just to plug something in straight away, an appliance that you've got, whether it's a coffee maker or a hair dryer to dry something out, or whatever else it is that you need. So that 110 service, this is the whole reason we've got it. This big guy, I could probably put it in my 2-car garage on a pretty cold day and keep it very, very, very comfortable. So we're 25 feet nose to tail on this trailer. We're 19 feet of kind of usable deck space. So you can imagine if you guys fire this up, hang all your coats in here, you've got all your sleds in here and all your gear, you can certainly dry some stuff out really quickly in here, and you will bypass sauna mode very, very quickly. So tucked over here in the corner, we've got a couple things going on. First and foremost, one of our other power management aspects that we have is our solar there. Gives you a bit of information about it, and we are running everything off our solar and off our house batteries right now, or a couple deep cycle batteries. So you can see we're discharging a little bit. It's not quite the sunniest day this morning yet. So really nice to have that system. And then full touchscreen radio just below that. Really nice. We've got speakers throughout the top line of this trailer. Nice to be able to pump some tunes through there. You've got Bluetooth capabilities, obviously, and then the touchscreen just makes it that much nicer. Our primary, or kind of our secondary furnace that's going to pump through, keep this trailer temperate for us while we're out on the trails, runs off a 12-volt service. Also, everything that's pumped through our cabinets, our drying cabinets, is going to be run off of that as well. So really nice to have the dual service of the furnaces, and then we'll show you inside the cabinetry, obviously. Tons of space in here. So first and foremost, a couple shelves over here. Throw some helmets, throw some gloves in there. Down below, you've got a couple boot racks. And again, everything's vented through here, so you're going to move a lot of air through these. And then the top shelf, you'll see we've even got kind of your exit vent as well. So you're going to keep the air moving through here and get that moisture out of this really, really nicely. And then close these up tight, and everything stays very nice and organized. Before I fall off the side ramp here, which we'll talk about in just a second, one more little spot of a bench seat, but there's our dual house batteries too. If you want to upgrade to lithium, if you want to kind of explore some other options with that power source, we can certainly look into that for you. That's going to be a big, big help. And then Xantrax is our inverter and our charge controller. It's going to enable us to run all of the systems through the trailer. Really, really nice system with that. 110 plug just below that, and then a battery disconnect. We've got a lot of options on this trailer. We've got a lot of accessories in here. Would certainly be very easy to leave a light on somewhere. So nice to be able to, when you're done with the trailer for the night, when you're done with the trailer for the season, flip that off and know that you're going to come back to a charged battery. So we've got a front side ramp on the front half of this trailer, and it just gives you a lot of versatility. We've all been to that trailhead that is full of traffic and you've got no other options but to maybe unload on the side of the trail instead of a normal parking lot out the back. Certainly a lot of us have got reverse on our sleds now, so that makes a big difference. But the versatility you got out of this, again, you're in a bad spot, maybe you want to load one up on the side ramp too, to maybe play a little bit of Jenga or sled Tetris inside of this to fit one more extra inside of there. So, and then two, they've done a nice trough here on the front side as well. So we've got 4 drains in it as well. Same style that we've got on the back. Like we said, getting this thing really heated up and really pumping a lot of air through this. And if you've got a bunch of sleds in here covered in snow and ice, you can move some water through this trailer. So nice to be able to have that option and drain it out and keep it really comfortable in here. So I think we've now accomplished maybe the passenger side of this trailer on the interior. Let's talk a little bit about the driver's side. Like I said, you got a lot going on here. So we've got an escape door. Really nice to be able to come in here if you are on a long trip, if some of your sledding locales and trails are a little farther away. Nice to be able to step in here, check on your load, check on things, throw an extra gas can in, something like that. You have that option. Really nice step out. We'll talk about that when we get inside. But as soon as you enter, you've got a bunch of different controls. So some of our light switches, some porch lights over the outside as well. And then One added bonus with our 110 package is we've got a couple fluorescents right down the center of the trailer as well. So we're a well-lit trailer. Logan does a really nice job with the LEDs, but to add those fluorescents, LED fluorescents down the center line of this trailer, again, gonna make a really big difference about seeing what you're doing. And then especially if you're doing a little work in here and you've got a sled hanging off our eye post here in the middle, you're gonna be able to see really, really well in here. So a lot of controls there at our escape door. We do have another bench. Get all suited up. One nice place to get yourself ready to go, get yourself undressed a little bit, or take some of your gear off. You have that ability as well. Coming along next to us, really nice oil can holder, a couple aerosol cans up there, some WD-40, anything. Again, the storage that they're coming up with and the possibilities that we have for these now. So obviously oil cans, obviously some WD-40. Things are going to get a little dirty and messy, and as simple as a little rod like that, slide through a shop towel, paper towel roll, and we got your shop towels right there for you too. So really nice to be able to have that option. And then again, we're moving along. Right next to that, some more USBs and USCs, so you've got some power options. If you want to slide a couple of things over there to charge, or you want to make them up into the way into this cabinet as well, you can do that. Some more hooks, more hanging storage. Again, really nice too. If we've got our furnaces going, we've got another frameless window on this side. If we want to hang a couple suits here, we know we're going to get some airflow over those for sure. So help us keep things dried out quite a bit. And then again, we'll talk a little bit more about the frameless window design on the outside, but I like those style quite a bit. So down below and fully lockable, and we'll show you that on the outside as well. But we've got our fuel access door here. So really big, nice framed out space. Obviously throw our nozzle in here, get everything fueled up pretty easily inside of this, and then close it back up. And then we'll take a look at a lot of the latches and paddles and different mechanisms throughout the trailer that we use to close our ramps and our doors, but everything is going to be lockable and key to like on these trailers. So makes a really big difference if you are staying at a hotel overnight or doing a bit of traveling. And just another bench as well, this one with a table that accompanies it a little bit, so that you have a spot to sit down and do a little bit of work. If you're doing some carburetor work or something like that, certainly be a nice spot to set that down. And then more storage just above that too. Working our way back as I fold these back up behind our shelf there, and our bit more storage as we have control over. We talked about having two different furnaces on the trailer, so we're going to have two different thermostats. So we've got individual control over either, and we can set a desired temperature just like we can at home, and it'll shut off there, or we can certainly just set it on a manual setting and crank it way up and be in really, really good shape. Couple more things really quickly that I've missed as we've gone through. Again, this trailer is loaded out. You've got a ton of options. First and foremost, a really big one, especially starting up some two-stroke engines in a small space like this. If you know, you know. We've got two maxi air vents in this trailer, so we can open those up and we can exhaust a lot of air out of these trailers. Especially, we're getting a little longer in the floor length, so having the two is going to make a big difference. If we got one started up here and you're still kind of trying to keep things closed up tight and get warmed up and suited up, nice to be able to suck a lot of that exhaust air or a lot of those fumes out of these trailers and keep it a little bit more comfortable and a little somewhere you can spend a little bit more time before you hit the trails. And then you'll see too, like I said, speakers throughout along that top rail. We've got them behind me all over the place, and a couple more back here. So again, really, really well equipped trailer. Some clothes rods above me too. I'm catching more stuff the farther I go along. These trailers are really fun to kind of spend a little bit of time with and see all of the options. Working with Chris Burandt, working with Logan, who's done these for a long time, they've all had a lot of great ideas and put them all back together to make kind of the ultimate package of the snowmobile trailer. Logan's certainly gone hard with the motorsports trailers, and now the snowmobile specific Chris Burandt trailers are going to be a really, really awesome package. So we'll work our way outside really quick to the driver's side, take a look at just a couple of quick things. Outside of these trailers are obviously very, very simple, but there are, again, just a couple of nice features that make living with these trailers, especially, you know, you're trying to go out and have some fun on the weekends and not make it a stressful event where hooking up or getting down the road is the hard part about it. So certainly get everything loaded up. Like I said, here's your fuel access door. I'm even a short guy, and this is a pretty perfect height for me. Pass this in, go through our escape door, get done what we need to get done. And then again, like I said, I really like the design of the frameless windows. Certainly you're not camping out in these style trailers in 90-degree weather, so I think just having the ability to do that small little pop-out vent to get a little airflow through these makes a big difference, and I really like the look of them quite a bit. We talked about running gear. Again, I like that spread axle. Certainly there's a big aesthetic aspect to it that we certainly like a lot, but getting a little bit more space between those axles too, you're making this a little bit more trailer friendly, a little more half-ton friendly or large SUV friendly to go down the road, because you're distributing your weight just a little bit better, and you can certainly take a little bit more tongue weight off of it as well. Like I said, this is our escape door. Nice little fold-out step. Obviously, we're a little bit taller of a trailer because we're a deck over style. Logan just does a gas shock, no mechanism to hold it up or down or anything like that. As easy as that. And then with a nice little door hold, if I can tuck myself between, we can close this guy back up and close her up. One nice thing too is a combo lock. So if you've got a bunch of buddies going with you and you're getting ready to head out, or you've parked it for the night and somebody needs to grab their gloves out of the trailer before you head off, just give them that code and they have their own access into it. And then really quick, just going to close this side ramp up for you just to give you an overall profile of it. Maybe not. We'll try once more. We'll wait. Plastic's hanging up. But the idea of it is these trailers have everything you need to make a really nice weekend out sledding. Even the side ramps, they've even come up with using the stop guards on the side. So you don't have to worry about losing control and coming off the side of the ramp. It's going to shoot you right out the side. So again, Logan horsepowers. We've got a couple on the lot. We've got a gooseneck. We've got this bumper pull. We've got a couple down. Again, Snomo Expo is going to be tomorrow, Friday the 24th, from 4 to 8. And then it's going to be Saturday the 25th from 9 to 5. We'll be at the National Western Stock Show Event Center. Going to have a lot of stuff going on. Going to be a lot of sleds going on. Chris Burandt's going to be down there right across the hall from us. So we're going to see a lot of customers and really hope to see you down there and get hands-on with these trailers, and it'll be a fun time. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Transwest. You can reach out to me. My email's down below, luke.sullivan@transwest.com. If you have questions specifically about this one, my cell phone's 859-509-1282. So feel free to reach out. If you love this trailer, it's everything you're looking for, please feel free to reference its stock number. It's 5N250911. Thanks again for your time today, everybody, and I hope to see you down at Snomo Expo Friday and Saturday. Enjoy your weekend.